write in on that draft. We had someone talk earlier about the fact that Sisi stood before Al-Azhar and called out the violent extremist, radical extremist, violent people, fundamentalists. I could keep going here. He did not do that. He went to Al-Azhar and he told the imams at Al-Azhar, and that is as doctrinal and mainstream as it gets, that they are responsible for what's going on, not calling them radical, but recognizing that their tradition, meaning Islam to date, is, I think as he sees it, going to destroy the Muslim world. But in doing that, he didn't call them radical, he called them who they are. And the blind sheikh was brought up earlier, his only status is that his status as an imam from Al-Azhar. Kawadari is from Al-Azhar. Azam, who founded the Muslim Al-Qaeda, is from Al-Azhar. We've heard phrases like radical Islamic extremist, extreme Sharia, fundamentalist, which if I could, when you use the word fundamentalist, which is actually a term that only applies to a 20th century Protestant Christian movement, you're allowing that word to be used against Christians in the future, because there's no such thing as fundamentalist Islam, okay, and a whole lot of other language. What you're doing is you're denying the fact that Islam is what it is. Now, I understand the tactics of it, but here's the thing. One of the reasons I use Reliance of the Traveler is because at the very beginning of the book, it says it was approved by Al-Azhar. And then you go to another page and you get the triple hit. It said it was approved by the American Muslim Brotherhood, which is everybody, anybody in this government and media talk to. Okay, it was signed also by, he also signed that in his capacity representing a school in, or a center in Saudi Arabia, so it also represents Saudi buy-in. But most important, that entity he signed off on their name, I think it's I can't remember what it is in Riyadh or Jeddah, that is the OIC's subordinate element that does Sharia law, so that we know when we quote Reliance of the Traveler, it represents the prevailing view of Sunni Islam, period. So if I can take a quote out of that book, it is Islam, as is understood by everybody you talk to. So if you think, so when you decide you're going to call this extreme radical, you've already submitted. If you're, I understand the tactics of it, that you have to bring people along. But if you're basically saying, as some people are, radical Islamic extremists, they're extremely correct. They're violently correct. And that is why the moderates can't get a hand in there. That's why they're all over here. So I just think we need to get there.